If you wanted to listen to any song in the world, what would it take? Like 3 pushes of a button on your phone, and most of it's free. You can listen to pretty much anything on YouTube, right? When I was a kid, it was not that way. If I wanted to listen to a song, I either had to have the tape or the CD of it, or pretty much you were out of luck. There was one thing that I could do, especially if it was a Disney song, right? Maybe I was lucky enough to have the sing-along song video. That's how I was introduced to a lot of different songs. Probably the reason why I like Disney stuff as much as I do today is because of these Disney sing-along song videos that existed. What they were compilations of, different songs from different movies. Sometimes they would be in there for there would be themes for the video, or sometimes it would just pretty much be everything from one of the different movies, and you could get all the songs without having to watch the whole movie. But these were really popular back in the early 90s, right? It's pretty much the one time when this kind of thing could have existed. Videotapes had become cheap enough now where you could put out stuff like this, but there weren't other options that made it easier to be able to find these songs faster and, cheaper, which is why they don't exist anymore, right? Because of YouTube, right? Disney's own sing-along song videos on YouTube is why they don't make these things anymore. But when I was growing up, these things were great. And they were I think we had almost the whole set. We had 12 of them. But my favorite one was, I think it was tape number 7, the Disneyland Fun video. The music in it is so 90s, and I just kind of want to take a quick look at it with you today and just kind of share some of my favorite parts about it. This sing-along tape starts off pretty much all of them with the Disney sing-along song theme song, which low-key I love. You got Professor Al coming in here talking about how fun Disney songs are. So once we get through the opening song, we end up at Disneyland itself. Things are getting started, and just like in real life, they've got the mascots out there cleaning up and getting everything ready for the rope drop. I just love the idea of these poor cast members having to be in these suits while they're cleaning, just in case they get spotted. They're singing the song Whistle While You Work, which is from Snow White. It's a fine way to get started. Nice, quiet, starting off with a bang. You get that real strong start right when they do the rope drop and they get into Step in Time from Mary Poppins. I love watching this video for a lot of reasons. Obviously, for me, there's just a lot of nostalgia. I think the songs are great. The covers on some of the songs are okay, but I love mostly the fact that you just get such a good snapshot of what it just looked like to be alive in the late 80s, early 90s. Because just look at all of these people, man. This is what people looked like. People will be I'm gonna dress up like the 90s. No, this is the 90s. This is what the 90s looked like. So unless you're willing to dress up like these people right here, you're just pretending. It's the fake 90s. So right after we finished off that Mary Poppins classic, we move into a song you might not be as familiar with called I'm Walking Right Down the Middle of Main Street, U.S.A. This is one that is from the parks and not really anymore. But it did exist as a part of a show that was going on at the time. And so that's why it's included here. It's burned into my memory. But it's nothing that special. Next up is Following the Leader from Peter Pan. They changed some of the lyrics in here, and rightfully so, because the original's kind of racist. So, it's probably a good call. So then we get another song that's based off of an attraction at Disneyland, the Country Bear Jamboree, right? And so by the time I actually made it to Disneyland, this attraction wasn't really open. But I love this song. It's a fun song. It's talking about, not sitting around and watching videos and going outside. I love it when movies and everything are telling me about how good the outdoors are, but I'm sitting inside, not going outdoors while I'm enjoying that thing. So I don't know, the irony of that has always been extra sweet to me. You also can't watch this part of the video without noticing just how terrifying the country bears are. The faces that they're making. I don't know what feelings and emotions they're trying to portray. Some of them look like they just don't want to be alive anymore. If you look at those faces, it's they're begging for the sweet release. But the song sure is good and catchy. The next song is probably my favorite part of the entire video. I do listen to this version of this song on the regular. This is Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, right? The song in this video is so good. It's a upbeat, energetic version of it that, in my opinion, can never be rivaled. It's just so good. Plus it has like one of the most like embarrassing like rap verses that get added into a song that like I've ever heard. Very forced, very of its time, and I secretly really like it. Though I'd be fine if it just didn't exist. It kind of wrecks the song a little bit, but I just love how you just feel the energy of all the rides and the way that it's all cutting in with it. This is just such like so good, such a fun part of this video. This is also a good time to mention the fact that like Roger Rabbit is featured super heavily in here. And this is, again, just something that would only happen at this point in time. Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit would have just come out and been extremely popular, but then like he just ceased to exist pretty much in the zeitgeist. Like nobody cared about him anymore outside of like his ride in Disneyland. So, he fits in here, but it's like, why is he hanging out with like the main Disney crew? Just because he was the hotness at the time. Then we take a real shift in our like energy output, right? We go from Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah to Rumbly and My Tumbly. This is going to be the Winnie the Pooh song where he just walks around and talks about eating, which if you've ever been to Disneyland is a very like accurate like depiction of like the two things you do. You ride rides, you eat food. A lot of this stuff that people are eating in this just looks really good. Like, I mean, some people look at Ratatouille, right, and be like, man, this is just so good looking. The food that they're showing in this, like, this is my Ratatouille, dude. Like, look at how good some of this stuff is. Like, love me some theme park food. Shout out to the Bengal barbecue, though, for real. Like, if you know, you know. It wouldn't be a Disneyland video if you didn't talk about Small World. And so you get a ride through pretty much with the song. It's super just like a part of Disneyland, very iconic. And just something that feels essential, right? If this wasn't in here, you'd be like, why didn't they play Small World? Now, did I sometimes fast forward through this part of the video? Sure. Yeah, I did. But whatever. It doesn't mean that it's not still pretty good. This next song, Making Memories, another song that you probably aren't familiar with unless you watch this video, is from an attraction that was sponsored by Kodak. And so it's essentially just a commercial for taking pictures. A lot of little cute moments with kids and old people in this one. It's a feel-good song. It's good time. Now, Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, probably the most exciting song that is covered in this video. But if I really had to pick one that was my favorite section of the video, it's going to be Grim Grinning Ghosts. We get an altered version of the song, but it's still performed by the same guy who did the original song in the ride. So that's pretty cool. You get some of the big villains that existed at the time. You got to remember, this came out in like 1990. So this is before Beauty and the Beast came out. This is before we got The Lion King and everything. Like, this is who our pantheon was of big villains for Disney at the time. We got the big bad wolf. We got the evil queen from Snow White. We got Captain Hook. We got Donald Duck dressed up as a ghost, and we got Maleficent. And I blame this video specifically for why I like evil Maleficent as much as I do. Like, all of the other bad guys are afraid of her, and yet they take her and turn her into like Angelina Jolie. And I'm just like, I don't care how good the movie is. It just shouldn't happen. Outside of that, though, you get a lot of cool shots of the actual haunted mansion. It made this ride my favorite before I even rode on it as a kid. I've just always been a sucker for, horror kind of stuff. Like, even if I was too afraid to like really watch a lot of it, this was like scratching that itch for me as a little kid. The song itself is just always so playful, but like this version of it in particular, like I really like some of the emphasis that they put on things. The dancing creepy trees as well. It's just really good time. The penultimate song on the video, which means it's the second to last one, is the Character Parade. So it's a song about a parade, which is, it's from the parades and everything. So you get to see all kinds of characters running around. You get to see who existed at the time and who was popular. It really just lets you know like how much things have changed in the like 34 years since this video came out. These characters, most of them barely register anymore when it comes to popularity. Like, we've had some good times for Disney. And then, like any good Disney video, this one finishes off with When You Wish Upon a Star. It's the quintessential like Wonderful World of Disney kind of thing, right? You got to finish with it. I like the finality of this. Everyone is like saying goodbye, like, oh, we'll see you later. And everyone's hugging. It feels like graduation day or something like that. But the coolest thing about this song is when Mickey Mouse like stands in front of the castle and then like just shoots sparks and magic out of his fingers. I'm just like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like before Kingdom Hearts ever existed, this let me know, like, man, you don't mess with Mickey Mouse because he can mess you up. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, these Disney sing-along videos, usually just some of your favorites. You get to learn some new songs from movies maybe you haven't seen before, but this one in particular was just really special to me. And I don't think I'm probably alone in that. If you grew up watching these videos, I'd love to hear which ones you might have watched as a kid. What songs were your favorites in there? Like, did you ever see this one in particular? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for checking this out. Let me know what kind of things we should be talking about in the future. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, you take care, and I'll see you then. Bye.